Hey everyone, and welcome to The Explainer. So, the first ever World Humanoid Robot Games just went down in Beijing. But listen, this wasn't just about who could cross the finish line the fastest. No way. This was a battle for the very soul of robotics. It was raw, human-controlled speed going head-to-head with pure, unadulterated artificial intelligence. And this clash, it's literally defining the future of the entire industry. So, let's dive in.
Just think about it for a second. What if the Olympics were for robots? It's a simple idea, right? But it gets right to the heart of what this event was all about. You take a format we all know and love, a global sports competition, and you turn it into the ultimate test track for the next generation of humanoid tech.
And let me tell you, this was no small get-together. We're talking over 500 robots. They came from 280 different teams, spanning 16 countries, all showing up to compete. You had everyone from the top university labs to the absolute biggest names in the industry.
All right, so here's what we're going to cover. First, we'll step into the arena and look at the huge conflict that played out. Then, we'll get into a tale of two very different champion robots. After that, we'll explore some other surprising ways to win, profile the industry titans pulling the strings behind the scenes, and finally, we'll look at what this all means for the real race that's just getting started.
Okay, so let's dive into our first section, the arena. Because this really wasn't just about which robot was the fastest or the strongest, it was a battleground for two totally competing ideas about the right way to build our robotic future.
So at the absolute heart of these games was this one, core conflict. On one side, you've got teleoperation. Let's call this approach the sprinter. This is where a human is basically piloting the robot like a super high-tech puppet, just pushing its physical hardware to the absolute limit. And on the other side, you've got full autonomy, or the thinker. This is where the robot is completely on its own, using its AI brain to see, to decide, and to act. It was speed versus smarts. And there was no better place to see this debate play out than in the main event, the 1,500-meter race. This one race became a dramatic tale of two robots, and it perfectly captured that huge debate shaking up the whole industry.
Okay, so let's meet our two big contenders. In one lane, you've got the Unitree H1, our sprinter, an absolute marvel of hardware being remotely controlled for pure blazing speed. In the other lane is Tiangong, the thinker, running completely on its own AI. This was literally hardware versus software going head-to-head on the track.
And here are the results. Okay, so this is where it gets really interesting. Yes, Unitree's H1 took the gold. An incredible time, no doubt, a clear win for raw hardware performance. But look closer. Tiangong took silver, only 21 seconds behind. And here's the crucial part. It did it all by itself. So while Unitree won the race, a lot of people in the industry are saying Tiangong actually won the argument about the future. It proved that a truly smart, independent robot could compete at the highest level.
But hold on. This whole competition wasn't just about that one epic rivalry. It turns out there are other ways to win that have nothing to do with being the fastest or the smartest. Some of these champions showed us completely different paths to success.
Let's take a look at the 5-on-5 robot soccer final, for example. Now, on the surface, it's just a game. But what happened here revealed a really crucial business trend that is shaping the whole industry. And that trend is something called hardware platformization. The whole idea is actually pretty simple. Instead of every single team building a robot from scratch, one company provides a standard, really high-quality robot body. Then other teams from all over the world just compete by loading their own custom AI brain onto that same body. The competition suddenly shifts from who has the best hardware to who has the best software. And get this. This is what makes it so fascinating. Both teams in the final, the winners from Tsinghua University and the runners-up from Germany, were using the exact same robot body, the Booster T1. So the winner wasn't the team with the better robot. It was the team with the smarter code. And this just perfectly highlights the genius strategy of Booster Robotics, the company making the T1. See, they're not trying to win the games themselves, they're acting as the arms dealer, selling the essential gear to everyone who is.
All right, so let's step off the sports field for a minute and get into the real world. The scenario-based challenges, these were designed to test something totally different, commercial readiness. Could these robots actually do useful stuff in real places like hospitals or hotels? And the answer was a huge yes. The winner of the Hotel Cleaning Challenge was a robot called Wanda 3.0 from a company named Uliki. But here is the absolute kicker. The robot that won the silver medal, the Wanda 2.0, isn't some futuristic prototype. It's a commercial product. You can go out and buy it right now.
This is the most direct link between competition and the market you could possibly imagine. What wins on Sunday is literally for sale on Monday.
You know, this kind of incredible tech doesn't just appear out of nowhere, right? So who are these titans of the industry, the companies and institutions behind these champion robots? Well, let's meet them.
So first up, you've got Unitree Robotics, the company behind that gold medal-winning sprinter. These guys are the commercial leaders for sure. Their technical edge comes from years of dominating the robotic dog market, so they have world-class hardware expertise. And their strategy is pretty straightforward. Use super aggressive pricing and viral marketing to get their robots into as many hands as humanly possible. And with backers like Tencent and Alibaba, yeah, they've got the cash to make it happen.
Then you've got a totally different player, the Beijing Humanoid Robot Innovation Center, or BHRI. They're the thinkers behind that amazing autonomous Tiangong robot. You can kind of think of them as the national team. Backed by the government and giants like Xiaomi, their strategy is the complete opposite of Unitree's. They're not trying to sell a product, they're trying to build an open-source ecosystem for everyone, kind of like an Android operating system that any robot company can build on top of.
And rounding out our titans is Booster Robotics, the clever platform enabler from the soccer competition. They came out of the top robotics lab at Tsinghua University, and their whole strategy is to just dominate a crucial niche. They build this super open and compatible robot body and have basically become the arms dealer of choice for research labs and AI competitions all over the world.
You know, this quote from Unitree's founder, Wang Xingxing, just hits the nail on the head. He says, "The hardware is basically ready. The industry is waiting for the GPT moment for embodied AI." And that's the key right there. The robot bodies are getting incredibly capable, but the next massive leap forward has to happen in the brain.
And that right there brings us to our final, and maybe most important section, the real race ahead. Because as impressive as all the running and the jumping was, all that physical stuff, it's just the warm-up. The ultimate prize, the real race that's going to define the next decade, is the race for the AI brain. So this is really the bottom line, right? The hardware is getting better, faster, and cheaper at a mind-blowing rate. But the fundamental bottleneck for the entire industry is still the same. How do you create a general-purpose AI that can actually understand and adapt to our messy, unpredictable real world, all on its own? And that's why Tiangong's silver medal was such a big deal. It showed real, tangible progress in that race.
So, what's next? What does the roadmap for our robotic future actually look like for, say, the next 3 to 5 years? Well, it looks a lot like this. Number 1. Radical cost reduction. Prices have to come way down so more businesses, and eventually us, can afford them. Number 2. That AI GPT moment. The big breakthrough in embodied intelligence that everyone is holding their breath for. And number 3, the rise of a whole new business model, robot as a service, where you don't even buy the machine, you just subscribe to what it can do.
And when you put it all together, all this incredible progress, it leaves us with one last, really fascinating question to chew on. As these machines get more and more capable, more and more intelligent, will they simply be tools that work for us, or will they become collaborators that work with us? That's the future this competition has just started to write.